Well, hello, and welcome to the Richard Wade Review Show. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a new device I just got. It's called the RGB10X. Now, real quick, I'm going to pull up a little thing about it so I can get the specs on it. That way I don't mess up. I'm telling you about it. All right. So this is a device that's very similar to some of the other devices I've reviewed before. It's got a Linux operating system on it. I think it's running Arc OS, if I'm not mistaken. And it's a very capable device. I found that it wasn't very good at running Nintendo 64, at least most games. There were a few it could do, but surprisingly, it did good at games like Nintendo DS, although it's not the ideal device for that because it doesn't have a touch screen. But basically anything PlayStation and before, you're gonna be running it perfectly. So this is a pretty cool device. All right, now that I got this up, it's running an ARM quad-core chip. I believe it's the RK3266. I don't know. I'd have to check. Actually, that doesn't have good specs. Here. Should have got this pulled up before I started the video, but here we go anyway. Yeah, it's got an RK3326 in it. And the battery life on this is a 2800 milliamp hour. So it should last quite a while, I guess. It's got a mono speaker. The speaker ports down here are just fake. You know, they're made to look like speaker ports. It's just got the one speaker in the front, but the sound does come out like from both channels. You're not like limited to like sound from the right or left channel. It's just sums it down into one. All right, it's like I said, it's got that RK3326. It's got 1 gigabyte of RAM. So basically, this is going to be very similar to like the processor in the RGB30 that I've reviewed before, or like the R36S. It's the same processor as that. One thing I do like about this is like it's very lightweight. That's probably my favorite thing about it, because a lot of the heavier consoles, like after playing for like an hour or two, they get pretty heavy in my hands, and I don't know, they just kind of hurt, and I don't like that. So I do like that this is lightweight. I guess first, let's start up like I always like to start up Street Fighter 3, because you know if it can play Street Fighter 3, you know it can play most things. And gonna see how the sound picks up here. I'm doing this in a little bit different location because it was easier for me to do it here at my recording studio desk, because I can be closer to everything and not have to upload the video from my phone. So I'm going to turn up the volume on this a little bit. Alright, there. And as you can see, it's running Street Fighter 3 Third Strike just fine. I'm going to go get Elena. That's my favorite character. I do like this D-pad because it kind of reminds me of like a Super Nintendo D-pad. It's big. When I first got it, I played with this for about 4 hours when I first got it, and that's how I know I like it. You know, I used to do like unboxing videos and just take it out the box and show people how it was, like right there. But like I wanted to play with it first. So when I first took it out, this felt a little stiff. But as I played with it, like I really like it. It's probably one of the best pads I've had on one of these types of devices. And as you can see, I have no problem doing any of the motions. Like here's Dragon Punch motion. I did twice. Special. Yeah, and half circles work just fine. And I'm not sure how well you can see the gameplay, but I'm trying to keep it in focus. There's no lags, no problems with the sound, so like everything's good. All right. To exit, you hold the hotkey, which is this minus button. I thought these were going to be like screen brightness buttons, but they're not. That's the hotkey. You hold that and press start. I'm assuming there is some way to turn up the brightness with them Or actually, I heard that there was, but I don't know how to do that. So I'm just gonna keep going with it. But it looks good to me the way it is. I'm not super worried about it. All right, it's got the. It depends on where you get it from, whether or not it comes with an SD card. Honestly, I'd say you probably want to get your own ROMs to run on it because they've been avoiding putting Nintendo ROMs on these because Nintendo's really been going after people for emulation. I mean, I can understand, wanting to protect your properties, your intellectual IP stuff, but like at the same time, if it's hard to get these games, people are just wanting to like play old games that they're not selling anymore. People will gladly buy them if they're easily available. Like you put your Nintendo games up on Steam, they're gonna sell out so quick, but they just don't do that. They only sell them through their limited marketplaces. So I guess they never learn. There's a. It's got arcade games, which I just loaded up. One of the most like demanding arcade games there is, and it did just fine. There's Super Famicom, which is Super Nintendo. Um, I guess I'll load up something like that. Of course, this is going to run perfectly. I mean, I have no doubt of that. I don't know what Time Cop looks like on Super Nintendo, but we're going to load it up. All right. Kind of uncomfortable playing from this angle because I got this camera stand pushed in here, but this does make it a lot easier to do the video. All right. As you can see, this screen is kind of like a 4:3 already, so it's perfect for playing Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. It's already at the correct screen size. Wow, this looks awful. I love it. This is terrible. It's kind of like that Shaq game I used to have where I used to. It's like the. It's kind of like like old Mortal Kombat stuff where they'd have like the character. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah. Awful. What a terrible game. All right. Well, anyway, as you can see, Super Nintendo stuff is running perfectly. I like to load it up and show everybody a little bit of what they do. Famicom's there. This one does not have any. Well, it does have some, but it doesn't have Super Mario Brothers on here because they don't want Nintendo coming after them, clearly. But again, I recommend. It's got an SD card on here. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah. Let's see. Does that one have a game card or did? Well, this one was supposed to have came with a game card with all the games on it, but I guess they just went ahead and put it in on the regular one, on the OS card. That works too. I mean, either way, if it's on the OS card, you're probably going to end up having to load into Linux or something because, I mean, this has another card. You can read it from this, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. I thought it had it. All right, well, that means I got charged $10 too much for this thing. This is normally $45, and with the card, it's like 53 or something, and that's what I paid for and didn't get it. So I have to complain. All right, here's some a topic that's hot right now. We got some Mike Tyson Punch Out. So I'm gonna play as Jake Paul here. There we go. And of course Nintendo's not going to have any problem running on this, but as I was saying earlier, it's a perfect device for Nintendo just because the screen is right. And that is super clear. Like it may look blurry on the camera. I'm not sure because just back and forth with it. But like yeah, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit actually. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that might be better for everybody, I guess. Be better for me. All right. Everybody can see. Hopefully the shadow is not too bad that way. But yeah, kind of seeing what it looks like. This was probably one of my favorite Nintendo games. Hey, look, there's Mario there, actually, so I'm probably going to get sued. They're going to take my video down. Oh, here he comes. Punch him. Yeah, that. Wait until he blinks. Punch him. I guess I'll just have to do it that way. Alright, it doesn't matter. I don't even have to knock down Glass Jaw Joe, but I do hate when he goes more than one round. Usually I just get him when he blinks a couple of times, get a couple of star punches going on, you know. Alright, so got Nintendo there. We went through Super Nintendo. Some Nintendo 64 games will work, but I mean, like, one of my favorite is California Speed, and it didn't work very well. I did find that if you go to some of the standalone emulators, they work better than some of the ones built in, or the different cores do. So, like, I don't know. So if you want to change emulators, you can hit start and go to emulator settings, which is right here, and then you can just go down to the system. And in this case, it's running the standalone Rice emulator. That is one of the best ones on this device. I mean, it's still not gonna run. There are games that won't run at all, or like that will run bad because the chipset's just not really up to accurate emulation. Like, you're not gonna be able to play like GoldenEye, but you know, there's simpler games that you could probably play okay. Like, I don't know. Let's try loading up Monopoly. I've never even played Monopoly on Nintendo 64, but we're gonna try it out. You know, I'm just but again, with Nintendo 64, it's a mixed bag. You never know what you're gonna get. Of course, I feel like this could probably, like, just, yeah, I don't care about the name. Okay, alright. I gotta figure out how to start the game. There we go, start the game. It's making me register my name and all this stuff. I thought I did this. You know, this is kind of getting to be a pain, so I'm just gonna not do this one. I'm gonna go to another game. All right, what can we do that doesn't take much? Maybe Hydro Thunder. I don't know. I feel like that was actually a difficult game, or like not difficult, but like hard to emulate. We'll try it out. Who cares? All right. Loading, loading, loading. Expansion pack detected, it says. Well, it's showing the menu accurately. That's a good sign. Usually that menu is all garbled in most Midway games, so I think this emulator is actually going to do it. All right, let's see. I don't know if it actually looked that way or if that's just graphical glitches. It looks like graphical glitches. Yeah, I don't think this game is gonna really work very well. I see the menus are not looking right. You can possibly change some of the settings. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem that bad. I like it. Oh, it's flashing a little bit, but I mean, like, I think that's playable. I mean, I probably wouldn't use it to play Nintendo 64 games anyway. That's just, I don't know. If it's not accurate, I'd rather use another device. Because I do have, like Steam Decks and stuff like that, but it's just such a big device. It hurts my hand to hold it. And I love the Steam Deck, but honestly, I use it, like, docked on the TV more than anything. So, if you have a Steam Deck, you can emulate anything there. PlayStation 2 games. You can even do Switch games on the Steam Deck accurately. So, that's the way to go if you're about that. Like Game Boy emulation, of course, is going to work perfectly. I'll just load up Aerostar. I don't even know that I play. I'm pretty sure I have. But that's how they look. This is all based off of RetroArch. So if you go into RetroArch, you can always go and change the background, so it's like more of a green color if you prefer that look. I don't know. I don't really care either way. But I guess some games, like if you're wanting more of a nostalgic feel, you can go into the RetroArch settings and change that. And actually, while I'm talking about that, I'll just go up and show you how to do it real quick if you care. You'd figure out whichever emulator you're running for, like whether it's RetroArch or RetroArch 32, and then you go in and you can change basically the video filter. So like you'd load up the core that you were going to use, like I don't know where do I go to do that. Oh yeah, you go to load core, and then you go down to whatever Game Boy. Nintendo Game Boy Color. Like, say if I was using, I don't know what core it's using. Usually Gambate is the one that I think that is used. So I've got it loaded up, and then I can go to settings and go to video settings. And then I can change the video filter. There's a lot of different things you can put on here. You can change like dot matrix. You can put like different colors on there for the Game Boy Color. But I don't know what like any of these are. Let's see here. They're shaders, video filters. Where's I don't know, but you can go through and change some of those filters. I don't know what they all are. But I do know that you can change them to any color you want, like any Game Boy Color setup. And of course, Game Boy Color games are going to work perfectly. But that's just where you go to do that. You go to the RetroArch setting, and you can change them. And after you change the options, you have to remember to go save the configuration, or it won't save, it won't work. So yeah, back to where we were at. Game Boy Advance games actually work great on here, which I think is... Game Boy Advance is probably one of my favorite systems to run on these devices. Like, the only thing that I don't like is like WarioWare Twisted. It doesn't have like a gyroscope to do that, so you can't play all the games on there. But this Wario game, amazing. But I'm not going to load up any Nintendo stuff, except for Punch-Out. I loaded up Punch-Out earlier. Let's see. I don't know. We'll load up Tiny Toon Adventures, or is that... That's a puzzle game. Oh, I loaded up the wrong game, but I don't care. I'm just showing that these work, And as you can see, it almost fills up the whole screen, with minus just a little bit of a black bar at the bottom. Because the Game Boy screen is actually a 3:2 screen. So, like, well, this actually looks like a pretty cool game. I'd like to play this sometime. It kind of reminds me of, like, the Gem Fighter mini mix, like the Street Fighter game. I wonder if that's on the... it's not. Okay. Now, Nintendo DS games, I don't like to play these on here. They all actually work perfect. Like, I can even load up, like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed, I guess. But you've got a little tiny screen divided in half, and you can change that with, like, this, and then you can go to the other screen by... Is it this button? I don't know. There's several ways you can do it. And you can change screens by that button. So you have options, and you can use, as you can see, you can use the stylus here and use it to click with, but and it says touch the screen to continue. So see, like, they have a bunch of like needless things that you didn't need to touch the screen for, but because it was a gimmick, you're gonna have to touch the screen all the time. So like, while DS games do run perfectly, it's just not going to be a great experience for most games. There are some games, and I think you can find lists online of games that you can emulate well without having to use a touchscreen. But for the most part, I don't think this is the device for it. You'll probably want something with a touchscreen so you can go through and do all the little like mini games and stuff as on touchscreens in these games. But a lot of games didn't use it. But as you can see, it is running at full speed. It works. So like, what is that? Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. See, I got to touch the orb icon, and this would get so annoying if you were trying to play a game like this. And I can switch over if I want and see the. How do I switch over to that? Oh, there we go. So now I'm on the touch screen. As you can see, I got this, and I can touch it and touch it again. I can upgrade that sword, and now I'm back to the map. So like, as you can see, it's just not a very good experience, but there are a lot of games that you don't have to use the touch screen, and it's going to be better. So tiny screen, tiny screen. I want to exit drastic. And I don't know if you can see that, but that's like the smallest text ever. I can barely see it in person. So like, yeah, I know it's not going to show up on the camera very well. But yeah. I think if you can find some games that don't use the touchscreen or the touchscreen's not necessary, it's probably super good for DS games. If it's all like top screen stuff. Or one screen. Sega Genesis, Mega Drive, of course, that's going to work well, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be amazing for sure. I think this is this and Super Nintendo are just like the best to play on the system because this 4:3 screen is its original aspect ratio, and well, Game Boy's good. I mean, Game Boy's 1:1, so it's a little bit smaller. I prefer that on the RGB30, which is that other device from PowKiddy. By the way, this is by PowKiddy. And just loading up Batman. Let's see what we got. Okay. Batarang. Okay. I'm just going to jump right into his head. Well, this Batman actually kind of sucks. I mean, I don't think I've ever played this one, but like I used to play the Nintendo one all the time, and it's weird that an 8-bit system would have a better Batman than that. All right, you got Game Gear. That's of course gonna work fine. I don't like Game Gear games. They're all zoomed in and weird. It's cool to go back and play some of the games that people played when I was growing up and I never had, so now I get to go try them. Neo Geo, The Last Blade 2 is one of the better graphical games for the system, so it's one I like to load up. I love Neo Geo games. It's actually one of my favorite. SNK and Neo Geo are just one of my favorite gaming companies of all time. Like I know now they're just balled out and they're just like IP owned by somebody in Saudi Arabia or something. But back in the day, you know, when they were making these games in Japan, like, wow. And that's just so beautiful. Like, look at that. That is crazy. I'm gonna just start up. So if you've never played The Last Blade 2, I definitely recommend this game. I'm gonna play a little bit here. And it's got a parry system, so you can, like that, you hit the parry button and it'll parry whatever they do. And it's kind of, let's see. You got to be precise with your movements on this. It's not as forgiving as like a Street Fighter game, so you definitely gotta. You definitely gotta like make sure you get the inputs right on the Last Blade. So it's easier on a controller, but I do love this game so much. See, and if you parry, like, you can parry the move. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just getting killed here trying to do it. See, you can directly attack after and go into a combo. And you can use a little stick, I mean, if it's easier for you, I don't know. I think I'm doing the move wrong. Must be, because might not be down forward punch. But yeah, I definitely recommend that game for sure. It's one of my favorite games on the Neo Geo. Just love it so much because it's so beautiful. Garou Mark the Wolves is cool. It's basically like the sequel to basically the Fatal Fury series, and to like the King of Fighters games too. You know, I mean, because they have a lot of the same characters, like crossovers. So this game has like Kim's sons. You know, Kim, the Korean guy. Here, I'm moving this for a second. All right, I had to clean it off. Got fingerprints all over it. I do that on the glass. Like, they're not noticeable in real life, but I've got this light over here shining from the side. So anytime I do these videos, you see all the fingerprints everywhere. But when I'm just sitting here looking at it, I'm not seeing that. But Garou Mark the Wolves was definitely one of the games I'd recommend. Here's Terry Bogard. And that was Geese Howard's son, Rock. So this is in the future, like 20 years after, or 10 years or something. I don't know. Anyway, like, it's after he adopted Geese's son, Terry did, and then Terry gave him his jacket. I have to remember all the... There we go. I love Terry Bogard. He's one of my favorite fighting game characters. I was glad they added him to Street Fighter 6, but I haven't really got to play much lately. I don't have anybody around here that wants to play with me. I play online, but like that's kind of boring. And plus, there's a lot of lag for a game that's like you're counting on like parries. Not ideal for sure. All right, gonna exit this game. Go back out. Now, there was one final game, system that I want to talk about. Well, actually, there's a couple I want to talk about. Okay, we got Neo Geo Pocket. Of course, that runs great. All the stuff on it. Neo Geo Pocket Color. They've got the Cherry Slots game. I like to play that. And the Card Fighters game, Capcom versus SNK. That's just a great game. And I started playing some of that. I do like the little Neo Cherry Master Color. It's just a little slot machine game that's just all chance, and it's just fun to just sit there and press a button. I don't know why I like it. There's the tiny version of Neo Geo Turf Masters. Oh, by the way, Neo Geo, one more game I want to show everybody. If you've never played, like, this is a golf game called Neo Turf Masters. If you've never played this, you've got to play it. Like I got to tell you, this is one of my favorite games. Not just on the Neo Geo of all time. And it's a golf game. So like you may think, oh, that sounds boring. I don't like golf games, but give this a try. I guarantee you'll change your mind real quick. You're gonna be like, oh man, that's So basically, to play this game, it's on Neo Geo. It's just like A, B, C, D. Always they have the same buttons. So every game on the system has that. So let's see. We're gonna put it up at 100%. Hit it nice. Yeah, got some good golf going on here. I don't know. There's something about this game like that. I guess the music and everything is relaxing. And let's see. I think that's 189 yards away. So we're gonna do it at 180 and do it a little bit high so it can bounce in. Oh, that was close. That was close. We're on the green though. All right, get some putting. Look at that, birdie. Not so bad. Not so bad. These courses get challenging though, and the wind picks up and stuff. I like the Japan course best. I don't know why. I've always just played the Japan course. But yeah, definitely play this game. Play Neo Geo Turf Masters. That's definitely put it on every device you have. Put it on your phone. All right. Where was I? Yes. PlayStation. I have a few PlayStation games on here. Here's what is important to me. And this is probably going to put a copyright strike on my video. But, well, not a copyright strike. I'm sure it's allowed to be used because it's part of the game. But it plays music. Maybe I should just turn it. No, I don't care. I'm going to free skate. And I'm going to get some Bucky LASIK over here. And we're going to go with the default board. And we're going to load up the warehouse. And then I can't wait to tell you all about it. So look, if I could play like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, you know, whenever I want to, just on the go, you got me sold. Like, I love this. I love it. That's exactly what I do. I slam in the ground every time. All right, here we go. But as you can see, PlayStation games run perfectly on this. No problems at all. I want to do a Christ Air into John Martinez 360. Yeah. Catch the remote. Oh, well, there I go. I crashed. So I'm going to exit that before I get a music copyright thing. And even though my channel's not monetized yet, I'm working on getting it there. So don't want them taking half the money for the video just because they heard the song. The PSP, it seems to work pretty well. I don't have many games for it. I have 5, but I'm gonna load up Dragon Ball Z Budokai because I did that the other day and it was cool and I liked it and it made me happy. So we'll just load up whatever I had already started. I guess this is where we're at. I don't care. I have to look at the story. Skip it with the start button. Alright, it looks like maybe we're going to beat up Yamcha. Yeah. And as you can see, that is running perfectly. Let's see, maybe. Well, now, okay, now as you can see, I'm like I'm like putting the thing all out of the frame here. I'm looking at my computer screen playing as it is. It's not as bad as when I was looking at the phone trying to play and doing when I was doing them over there on the workbench that I used to do it on. I'm definitely going to do it this way in the future. I'll probably just like, rearrange things a little bit. But yeah, PSP looks like it runs perfectly. I don't have any of the games that people say are hard to run, like I don't have God of War or anything like that. So I just can't test it. I don't know. Ben 10 seemed to work fine. I played that. Dracula X Chronicles, well, that just looks awful anyway. So I don't know. Now, here's what I found very interesting: the MSX and MSX2 both work. So that now this was one I thought was cool. This is Vampire Killer, which is Castlevania, but it's for the Microsoft MSX system, and I never got to play this version. Oh, it loads up the little BIOS, and then after that you can play. The buttons are kind of reversed from Nintendo. I guess you could probably like reassign them if you wanted, but I don't care really. But it's cool to be able to play these on a different system, especially one that I've never played before. It's weird. I'm getting hit by things I wouldn't get hit by normally. Because the jump is a little bit different. I was trying to figure out how to shoot the sub weapon, but I guess I didn't have one because I saw that jar and I thought it was holy water, but it turned out it was just a potion, and I used it somehow. So I don't know, but yeah, that's cool. I'm definitely going to go through and check out some of these games. Most of them were just garbage, but there are a few that were really cool. I heard like R-Type's really cool in MSX. There's Metal Gear at South, or Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, both on here. Nightmare is fun. I've played that before. Kings Valley, I don't know. I've heard of that. Never played it. Akari Warriors, that's pretty cool. The Goonies. I don't know what else we got. Garyu, Final Zone Wolf. Oh, Final Zone Wolf is. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna look though. It's always cool seeing. That's my favorite thing about getting these little cards with the games on them. Like I definitely recommend for good playing experience. You just like get your own and load them on there. But like if you want to see something new you've never seen before, I mean, if I load up some Japanese game that never even came to the U.S., I'm like, yeah, okay, this is. Well, now I don't even know what to do because it's having me select the members. And yeah, I don't even know how to do this. So apparently I'm not going to find out what that is. But yeah, it's always fun to just like go through Fantasy Zone. I think I've heard of that. I'm going to try that. Alright. Where are we at? Come on. Fantasy Zone. Press the space key to start. I'm guessing that was the space key then. Oh my god, this is terrible. It's like the worst shooter game ever made, I think. Well, probably not the worst, but It's unplayable. It's unplayable. I don't think I could sit through that. Uh, Dungeon Slayer. Check what Dungeon Slayer 4 is. Why not? But yeah, I've never got to play MSX because on all these systems I've ever had, it wouldn't work. It'd just go to a black screen and not load up. But it's actually working on this one, so I'm happy about that. Oh man. I guess I like it's an RPG and it's all text and it's in Japanese. Well, I can read some Japanese. I'm not that good with it, and this is all in like weird fonts because it's pixelated. So, in addition to not being that good at Japanese, and I I don't know if that one would be for me. Okay, now we're back around to options. If you go into your options, you have like a lot of like you can load up an SD card. Like if you put a different SD card, you can change over to that one. You can you can load up a USB drive in your on the go port, which is on the bottom, and you can also hook up controllers to it. I don't believe this one supports video out. That'd be cool if it did because it could be used as a little like portable console and hooked up to TVs, but I just don't think this one does it. Um, it has like Wi-Fi services on here, but you can't use it without a Wi-Fi dongle because there's just no thing built in. Or you can use like one of those little USB-C Ethernet things and plug it in there. So if you ever want to update your system, that's a good way to do it. Um, Usually, I recommend just leaving them the way they come, unless you want to do your own custom installation. It'll use like Arc OS or Gel OS, any of those that the other RK3326 systems use. So it's all right, and there are a couple of different things you can load on here. I know I've seen like music players, and this one has a headphone jack on it, which is cool. A headphone jack's nice to have, especially when not even phones have them anymore. And if you go to tools, there's Portmaster. Uh, right now, it won't load up anything because I'm not connected to the internet, but you can load all the games that you would normally load on Portmaster. And Portmaster can actually run a lot of newer games. Like you can play Shovel Knight on here, you can play Celeste, you can play Owlboy, and there's a lot of free games on Portmaster too. Like Castilla Maldita is great. Um, some other things too, and there's theme masters. So if you ever get something to connect this, I'd say yeah, go check it out. You'd like some of the Portmaster games probably, but there's a lot of garbage on there too. So you never know. The Arcade Classics collection, it's actually a very good collection of like some of the best arcade games from like the late 90s and stuff, and it has a few like classic games. It's basically a curated collection of the best of the best. So like it's more, I'd say it's like more like Capcom and Namco stuff. Probably more Capcom than anything. It looks like it's CPS 1, CPS 2 games for the most part. I'm not sure if I even see any like Konami and stuff like that. Yeah, this is mostly like Final Burn Alpha stuff. But if you go down to MAME, you can find the old stuff. Like you want to play like, let's see, they're just named weird things, so it's hard to find anything you're looking for. There's Space Invaders. Where's Galaga? This time next, Mortal Kombat 2, Ninja Spirit, Crime Fighters. What's Ninja Spirit? You know what? We're gonna find out together. I probably played this before. I have this arcade machine that just has all the old arcade games on it. Sometimes I'll just sit there for hours just Just scrolling through them. Ooh. That actually looks like it might be a fun game. I don't know. I like that weapon. I imagine the sword's probably faster, but... Oh, good. I got a clone. Yeah, this is pretty fun. I think kind of reminds me of like Shinobi, or maybe like a Ninja Gaiden almost. It's kind of like a Ninja Gaiden, I guess. Alright. I have to actually play that when I can pay attention to it instead of making a video. But that looks like a pretty fun game. Got to see a new game with me today. Alright, let's come back up. What do we got here? Battle Lane, Cyber Battler. It looks like it has some of the more like rare, interesting things in the MAME section. And the other one was more like just things everybody knew. RoboCop. It's got 400 games in this section, so that's sure to find some things you like. Spy. There's a Rygar arcade game. The NES Rygar is really fun. The arcade game kind of sucks. I mean, it's cool, I guess. It looks cool, but like the gameplay loop is just very small, and it's the same crap over and over. Saw Fighter. No, there's 1945. I love the 1943 40X series. You know, they have one on Neo Geo also. Whether this one is going to be cool or not really depends on whether it's the one that has the horizontal screen, which this is, or the vertical screen. If it's vertical screen, it's just going to have black lines on the side. Of course, it may not load at all. I might have to load up a different emulator for it. Looks like it's kind of stuck here, so... But yeah, that's the perfect time. Like if I go to... If I'm not getting a game to load, like let's see, arcade. If I'm doing, let's see, I can change it over to like MAME 2003 and see if that works. I don't know if it will or not. Maybe not. Maybe I should just try another game. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's working, so... Kind of doing the same thing here. Either that or it's one of those that has to like sit there booting up the ROM. Either way, I don't want to wait for it, so I'm just gonna... Oh, actually, there we go. Oh, wow. I'm glad that my impatience did not cost us a chance to see this game, because I've actually played this one before, and I liked it at the arcade. Oh, and it's got the fast shoot. I don't even have to sit there and spam the button. I can... See, that's the thing about, like, playing... arcade games with unlimited quarters is you could just spam your bomb all the time. You don't even care about dying. especially on the ones where you don't lose your power ups, or they all just like pop right back up after you die. Uh, Unlimited bombs, unlimited life. But I'd say one bad thing about playing these kind of games on a smaller screen like this is it's hard to do the bullet hell games because you can barely see the bullets anyway. They're just tiny. But I love these games. Especially love this one. I'm gonna have to go load it up on my actual arcade cabinet and play that soon. 1945 3 Super 1945 3. No, wait, Strikers 1999 is what this one's actually called. It's probably why I haven't played that one much. Alright, well, I guess we've gone through everything we need to go through about this device. It's basically the same as all the other devices. I do like the way the controls feel. That's my biggest plus about this, and it's very lightweight. Um, you know, it's when it comes to Sega, Super Nintendo, MSX is this the only system I've ever had it actually work on. I'm assuming that's probably fixed across all of the systems now since it is on this one. But this is the first one that I've ever actually uh, got them to run on. But yeah, anything 4.3 is going to be perfect. PlayStation runs perfectly on here, no issues at all. And if I can play Tony Hawk Skater, actually, that's the only game I ever really need. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Maybe I get bored eventually. Maybe I'm overselling it a little bit, but I love Tony Hawk Pro Skater and the fact that I can play it like that and it plays all the songs and everything, does the soundtrack, and it has like all three versions on there. Actually, real quick, final thing, I want to see what Pro Hawk Skater 3 looks like. I just loaded up 1 because that was the one I always played, but I wonder. I wonder. Ho ho! Alright. Loading it up. Free skate. Okay, we're gonna do it in the foundry, I guess. The only park I got unlocked, but that sounds good to me. I don't know. I hadn't played this one as much as the others. So I wanted to load it up and look at it real quick, and might as well do that right here with you. Oh, well, yeah, here we go. Alright. Just slam into the ground over and over. Alright, here we go. Man, this is a little bit slower than. A little bit slower than 1, so. All right, I wanna see what 2 is like. I actually like 1 better than this, so let's see what Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 is all about. I like the one on the Nintendo 64 a lot because it had Superman as just the first song in the warehouse by Goldfinger. I like that a lot. All right, free skate. I think it's crazy that they had like what is this? Oh, the hanger. Oh, that works. But yeah, I mostly played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 just because we had it on the Nintendo 64 and I did like the songs on there. Plus, to me, it was impressive at the time to just hear like songs coming out of a cartridge like that, you know? What the hell? But these would just be fun to play, just to sit around and listen to music on them. All right, I'm definitely gonna play these some more. But yeah, that is so cool. I saw there was another one. What was that? Pro Skater 1. Just 1, 2, and 3. Tomb Raider, King of Fighters 99. That's cool. Street Fighter EX2 plus Alpha. Kind of hate those games, but I don't know. They're Street Fighter still, so I love them because of that. Marvel vs. Capcom, #1. Oh, Final Fantasy Tactics. I love that. Double Dragon, that's a fighting game. I don't like that. Die Hard Trilogy is pretty cool. Castlevania Symphony of the Night, best game ever made. Besides, like, I don't know. I actually think Neo Geo Turf Masters is more fun than Castlevania, even though I play Castlevania all the time. Battle Arena Toshinden was kind of fun when it came out. It's a little bit lame now when you go back and look at it, but I remember seeing that in like the KB Toy Store. They had a PlayStation. That was the first time I'd ever seen one, and I was definitely all about it then, so I'm not gonna insult it now. I'll tell you that. I've never even played Resident Evil that much. I watched my friend play it. Another R-type game. Mega Man X6. I have these all on Steam, so I'll probably just play those on there. Mega Man X series. Marvel Superheroes. Legacy of Kain. I want to play Legacy of Kain. I've never actually played all the way through it. I started playing it a little bit and never did it. Cool Borders. Yes. That's a snowboard game that's really awesome. I used to play this all the time at my step-cousin's house when I was younger, and we'd stay up all night playing this. Web Systems.
Cool. Go for it.
It sounded cooler coming out of his old TV though, because like this speaker is super clear.
Right. Hey, we're gonna go to the extreme.
I always like the girl. I like to just do the half pipe downhill. I don't know if this is the half pipe or not. It's probably not. It's probably like some kind of. I don't remember what all the buttons did, and that was clearly not the one. Well, I don't know. What do I do? It's been a long time. I can't pull any air. I can just change the freaking camera angle over and over. Definitely have to do that another time. I'm just like slamming into everything. And I only like the half pipe. That's kind of the same with like Tony Hawk. I never bother doing the career mode or anything. I just crash into the ground over and over in the warehouse. And that makes me happy. Guilty Gears here. Alright, well this video's gone on long enough. I can't sit here and play games all day, but I just wanted to, show you a little bit about this device. It's probably one of my favorite ones in the 3266 series, like that whole rock chip era, just because it's so lightweight and the D-pad's good, and I don't know, I just like this device. The RGB30 is great too, but I didn't like the D-pad on it as much. I just like that it has like such a huge screen, and I can play like the Pico 8 games, Game Boy on that one. But this one, like, I think like it's more than enough, especially like if you're not wanting to carry some big bulky device. And this one will definitely fit in your pocket. Like I have small hands, but so I don't know how to really like give you a good measurement. I have no idea. I got nothing close to me that I can like show you a good measurement. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna end this video right there, and I want to thank you all for watching, and I definitely hope you'll join me next time. And let me know if there's any questions you have, or if you'd like to see anything else on the channel. I have to buy all these devices myself, so unfortunately, I did get that one video I was sponsored by where I did like the little like phone holding controller, and that was cool. I wish I had more sponsors like send me stuff to review, but yeah, that's why I haven't been posting that much lately. So I just did some like the music stuff I got in Japan because I kind of figured this is like an electronics channel. Of course, I think most people follow me for the handheld devices. So, all right, again, yeah, I always start talking again, but I'm gonna get out of here. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you join me next time.